Praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodas. Peace and blessings to all the brothers in this truth. Back another week with another lesson. But this week we're gonna kind of do a little spin-off. You know, we originally doing breakdowns of Revelation, right? But this week we're gonna do a little spin-off so I can get in and get some work done too. You know, because as we doing the book of Revelations, the whole book of Revelation, I'm still learning. So this do a little spin-off just so to kind of give insight on what I do know, you know what I mean, as far as the truth, and hopefully this will be an edifying video. But the title of today's video is going to be, who are the Edomites, right? Who are the Edomites? And we wanted to do that title just for the ones who don't know and the ones who do know but act like they don't know who the Edomites are, and what's their purpose, how they was founded, I mean not founded, but how they was created, you know what I mean, and what's their sole purpose.
Yeah, The Edomites, Alexander the Greek was an Edomite. His bloodline goes back to Esau. The leadership group of the Greeks, no different than the same people that was in leadership during the Romans, which is no different than the people that's in rulership of America, the so-called Caucasian man. America's going to be destroyed when the Lord comes back. That's why the Lord is coming back. America's mystery Babylon in the Bible. The Lord is coming back to save his elect, save his people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the true Israelites, and he's coming back to destroy America, mystery Babylon the Great, and take his people back to the chosen land. That's the prophecy of the Bible. That's why the Lord is coming back.
Yeah, and this is also going to help you better understand what the brother just said of who the people that are in leadership that he was just talking about, right? Who's in control of mystery Babylon the Great. Everything that goes on revolves around their laws and why they are in control, because they were set up that way by the Lord, and so on and so forth. We're going to get right into it.
Yeah, this is Genesis 25, verse 19. It says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Now, I want y'all to pay attention how it's mentioning all men. This man begot that man, so you come from your father's seed, right? Abraham's sons. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel of Syrian, and Padan Amram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Okay, so going kind of back up to the top, right? When it says that Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac wife Rebekah, right? And the reason why it was such a and the reason why they were so entreated was because Rebekah had something going on with her to the point where she couldn't bear. Like all her life she couldn't bear, right? And so she ended up getting pregnant at an old age. I want to say she was like 90 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. She ended up getting pregnant at an old age, and she ended up getting pregnant with twins.
Yeah, Sarah had the same thing. Sarah got pregnant at 90. Yeah, Sarah, because she had the same thing. She was barren too, and then Rebekah got pregnant too, and Rebekah, like your brother said, had two nations in her womb. Yeah, it says 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Okay, now the elder shall serve the younger. So the elder out of the twins is the one that came out first, right? And it's going to get into who that was and who's the one that came out after, and that's what it's saying when it says the elder shall serve the younger.
Yeah, I got a precept if I could find that. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. But this is But let's finish up right here, and then I'll pull that precept. Verse 24, it says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, the first, right, the elder. It says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field. Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did not eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
You up in the reading address?
Yeah. Well, you can break that down if you want.
Yeah, so, all right, so the first one was Esau, right? That's the firstborn of the two. He came out first. And it said he was red all over like a hairy garment, right? So now, once you think about what that just said, there's a certain people on this earth today that when they're born, they come out red, and you can pretty much see through their skin, right? And if you've been honest with yourself, then you will identify, or you will know who that people is today.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the reason for that is because they don't have no pigmentation in their skin. And now the other brother, which was Jacob, goes back into who we are today, right? He came out looking like us, right? He had darker skin.
Because he came out looking like his mother and father.
Exactly.
So it wasn't a big astonishment on how his appearance was. But for Esau, there was, because he looked different than his mother and father. He ain't have no what they call it,
pigmentation.
Melanin. He ain't had no melanin in his skin. You know what I mean? So that's what his name means. It's Esau in the Hebrew means wasted away, because his father seen him and was like, look, his skin is wasted away. His melanin is wasted away. He came out very light.
And that's what he started. And that's what he started screaming when he seen him, right? In the Hebrew, it was like, I saw, right? If I'm not going off, which means wasted away, right? And that's where he get his name from. That's how he was named, because of how he came out and how his father seen him.
So when you breaking down the Bible, if you want to understand this, you have to be able to, you don't have to know the Hebrew perfect by heart, but you have to be able to reference to something. Right. You know, usually we go to the Bible Blue Book, you know, and then we go to our elders and stuff like that, so you can kind of get the meaning. So the meaning of the words, that's why we always looking up definitions of the words. Right. We get a word and we be like, what does that word mean? We either go to Bible Blue Letter or whatever, or we go to the internet and we look up the definition of the word, so you could get a better understanding. Just like, for example, the word husband. So how do you know what a real husband is? You got to go get the definition of what husband means, you know, just for example. But this is 2 Ezra 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows, right? So the end of this world, right, that we're living in right now, and then the beginning, which is the kingdom of heaven, right? It says that he said unto me, for Abraham and to Isaac and Jacob and Esau were born, and of him Jacob held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is of it that followed, meaning that Esau will be in rulership during the end of the world when the Lord comes back, and then Jacob will get his kingdom after. So we can put 2 and 2 together to know who's in rulership of the earth right now. Right. Whoever that is, those are the Edomites, and those are the wicked of the earth. So Abraham Lincoln and his people, obviously, the presidents, right? Those would be the people that you would say that would be in rulership today.
Right.
They still in rulership. They still in rulership of America. So-called Caucasians, white men. They're the rulers of America, the same way they was the rulers of ancient Rome, right? So those are the Edomites.
Exactly. Nope.
Obadiah 1.
Yeah, Obadiah 1.
Starting at 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom, right? This concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, right? Whose habitation is high, that say in his heart, who should bring me down to the ground?
So right there. Right, so right, so those that despise thee, right, where it says that those that despise thee, so that thee is talking about the Israelites, right? And if you being honest with yourself, our biggest enemy, right, as a nation, our biggest enemy is the same people that took our ancestors into captivity 400 some odd years ago, right? And we still in captivity today, right? Now they the pride of their heart have deceived thee. Have deceived them. How? Because right now they're in rulership of the world, but they think that that's going to last forever, right? They don't see no end into it, and they think we're going to be subject to them and be in captivity up under them forever, right? They don't consider the day of the Lord.
Yep, just like it says, look, whose habitation is high. Now that's spiritual and literal, because they come from the caves,
exactly.
the Caucasus caves, right? They the cavemen, and then they run that same living here to America, and that's why they build the skyscrapers. The first skyscrapers was built in America. I believe it was Chicago, but it could be New York, right?